Courtney from Pure Legacy Chiropractic, and today we are so blessed to be joined by Rachelle today to teach us a little bit about yoga and meditation. And so give us a quick overview of how you got into meditation and how you got into yoga.
Okay. You know, actually, it was in Lubbock that I took my first yoga class, which is a little surprising.
Yeah.
It was like back in 2000 or something. It was just at Bodyworks here, and I was a first-year elementary education teacher, and I was super stressed out. And it was taught by a poetry professor from Tech, and I just remember really loving the relaxation, the slow pace, the reset it was for my nervous system, although I didn't know at the time that's what was happening.
Yeah.
And then shortly thereafter, I moved to Colorado and found a place, of course, up there that I could continue my practice, and it wasn't too much longer before I realized, oh, I want to teach this. I want to share it. So, yeah. So
how long have you been doing yoga and meditation? So it's been a while, right?
Yeah, it has. So let's see. I have been a student of yoga for 19 years.
Okay, so you've got a little bit of knowledge there.
I've been teaching for 13.
Awesome.
And I've been a yoga therapist for 5, and a meditation teacher for 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here at Pure Legacy, we've seen how upper cervical can help immensely with affecting the nervous system and the brain. So tell me a little bit about how yoga and meditation helps just enhance that nervous system and brain talking back and forth.
I love that, and that's my passion actually with yoga. I'm not so much of an asana teacher, which is all the poses.
Yeah.
I'm not into yoga being a workout.
Okay.
My passion for it is the way that it affects the nervous system. Right, so that fight or flight response, moving in a slow, rhythmic way where we're connected with the body as we're moving, rather than pushing the body through these rote paces, where we're actually tuned in, mindfully moving, definitely down-regulates the sympathetic nervous system. Another big part of yoga is breathing. Yeah. So learning how, first of all, just being aware of your breath and how you tend to breathe.
Right.
Most of us are reverse breathers with all the stress in our lives. So yoga gives us space and time for really starting to shift that. And breathing is one of the primary ways to
you can do it.
Regulate the nervous system as well. So we want to, down-regulate fight or flight and up-regulate rest and restore and digest and heal, right? And that's a different branch. And then the third piece of yoga would be meditation, which is, can be practiced in so many ways. There's a top-down approach, which is learning how to sort of be the witness to or the observer of all that's happening
going on
for you. And then there's more of a bottom-up approach, which is somatic, feeling your experience in your body and just allowing it to unfold and hold compassionate space for it. Yeah. So either way, we're affecting the nervous system.
And all of this would be true for upper cervical patients, right? So it's going to help upper cervical care, correct?
Yeah, for sure. And from what I know about upper cervical care is one of the main things that keeps people from holding, myself included, is emotional stuff.
And holding on to those emotions.
Holding on to tension. And so obviously emotion is just energy in motion. I'm sure everyone knows that, right? But when we sort of hold on to it instead of letting it move, now it's trapped in the tissues. Right. So that mindful movement can help energy move. Right. But so can breathing and just this mindful, compassionate way of being with yourself, which is what meditation is. Yes. Simply being with yourself.
Well, and I know here at Pure Legacy, we love looking at our body in 3 pillars, right? So we have structural, and that's very much the upper cervical chiropractic and getting your body in alignment, but also we focus on, healthy eating, making sure that you're putting in your body so that you have good building blocks, but one of the pillars that everyone kind of looks over or tries to push to the back is that emotional aspect that you're talking about. Right. Emotions are so ingrained in everything that we do that, like you're saying, if we don't, come to terms with them, if we don't understand our emotions, sometimes it'll keep us actually from physically healing.
Right. So I've heard it said, and I'm sure you've heard this saying too, but you can't exercise your way out of an unhealthy diet, and you can't healthfully eat your way out of a stressful lifestyle.
Correct.
Right. Absolutely. So if you don't have all the pieces, then we have this onslaught, as you know, of chronic disease and chronic pain and anxiety and depression. And I just feel like yoga, or stress regulation and learning how to work with and meet emotions and the vast experience of being a human, right?
Yeah.
No one taught us how to do that. We learned how to operate really cognitively and intellectually, but learning how to meet those deeper layers of our being is what yoga is about.
Right. Absolutely. So explain, we have so many patients here that are amazing at being awesome moms, awesome dads, coming from out of town, living super busy lifestyles. So how can these amazing patients that we have actually implement some of what you're talking about into their busy lifestyles?
Yeah. And so I get that question a lot, right? So just taking a tiny bit of time for ourselves, and it can be as much as 5 minutes.
Okay.
In the morning or in the evening or when you don't have children with you during the day, right? Like just sitting for a moment and turning attention, because we have so much external stimuli, right? And especially with our screens.
Yes.
That just like quadruples it. So putting aside all the external stimuli for 5 minutes, closing the eyes, which shuts off some of our sensory gathering, which just keeps everything ramped up, closing the eyes and feeling, like just sitting and feeling yourself breathe, sitting and feeling your experience and whatever's going on in the moment. That starts the downregulation.
Yes. Awesome. Well, explain to us real quick as we're kind of wrapping up. How can people get a hold of you? How can people find you and have them help them on this path to healing and getting these emotions and yoga all playing together?
Thanks, Courtney. Yeah, so I think the best way would be through my website, which is breatheatheheal.com. Right?
So it's all those things we're talking about together.
And you have to make sure there's 2 E's in the middle because of breathe and eat. But also, if you just Google, yoga therapy Lubbock, I think I'm the only one that pops up. So by phone, by email, or through my website. And mostly my practice is meeting people one-on-one.
Okay.
Private practice, but I also offer some meditation series through a local studio here called Highway 108. Okay. So those are usually 4 to 6 week meditation series.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, answering some of the questions that I get here on a day-to-day basis. So what would you, as like our last little golden nugget for everyone who's watching, what would you say is one of the number one things that you would recommend to someone who's thinking about getting started and just needs to make the push?
Man, that's a good question. I think what comes to mind is this thing of neuroplasticity. Like our brains really can change.
Yes.
So if you suffer from anxiety or depression or chronic pain or PTSD, right, we really can rewire those neural networks in the brain. And I just want you to know that there's hope.
Yes,
and it really does just take that one first phone call for help or support.
Awesome. Well, if you have any more questions about anything that we talked today about, get hold of Rachelle, get hold of us here at Pure Legacy, and we'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. But we look so forward to getting to help you on your health journey. So thank you.
Thank you, Courtney.
You're welcome.